The sweet adventures continue with pastry chef extraordinaire Nadia Arbi. Nadia, welcome back.
Hi, thanks for having me again.
Now this is quite the delightful array of ingredients you have here. What are we preparing?
We're going to make a cake that has a semolina base. It's traditionally a Turkish cake called Basbousa. Don't be intimidated by all the ingredients. It's another one of those one bowl recipes. One
bowl wonders. I love that. I know this is semolina. What else do we have?
We have some melted butter. It's important to use caster sugar. This way that the grains aren't going to be big, so when you bake it, it doesn't crystallize at the top of the cake. Some plain yogurt, some milk, almond meal, some coconut, and some flour. And then once we've put that all together, we're going to make a syrup, and the syrup is water, sugar, lemon juice, and rose water. I'm going to give you the wooden spoon, the master spoon, and we'll just start adding as we go. So we can start by adding the yogurt, the sugar, the butter, the melted butter, the milk, some almond meal, some coconut, the flour, and my personal favorite ingredient, vanilla.
Vanilla, dash of vanilla.
There we go. So now the hard part is for you to mix it up. Great. So you can pour it into the greased tin. Now it's important to pat it down and smooth it out. Because it's such a firm mixture, we want to smooth it really well. So you can use the back of a spoon and you just give it a good
pat down.
There we go. Now the fun part, we mark out our diamonds. So traditionally, this cake is cut into diamond shape. So I'm just going to mark them out now. It can become a little bit tricky marking out your diamonds, figuring out the lines. Sometimes it feels like a mathematical equation. There we go. And now the decorating part. I put the almonds on before just so that when it's in the oven, the almonds get a chance to brown and caramelize themselves.
Okay.
So you take a little almond and you put it in the center of each diamond. You can also add a little pistachio if you want.
Okay.
Is this the first cake you've ever done?
You know what? It is. Can you believe it? And this was so easy. Well, you made it seem so easy.
There we go, perfect. So next up we put it in the oven at 190 degrees for 35 to 40 minutes until it gets brown and caramelized on top.
Well, Nadia, that means only one thing. It's time to make the syrup.
Yes. We start by adding the water into a pot. You can add the sugar.
Sugar, all of it?
All of it. Lemon juice and our rose water. You can substitute it for orange blossom water, almond essence, even saffron water if you want. It's totally up to you and what you feel like on the day. Our syrup looks ready, so we can turn it off, and as soon as the cake comes out of the oven, we pour it on while everything is warm. It smells delicious.
Something smells really good. Oh, it looks beautiful.
We know the cake is ready when it's golden on the top and crispy on the edges. Will you please pour the warm syrup over the cake?
I shall be happy to assist. I
think that's good. We're going to let the syrup soak in, and once it's all absorbed, we're going to cut it and taste it. Ready to come off. Almost there, Michelle. Almost there. Don't worry. Look at the perfect even color all the way around. And the syrup is soaked in, so it's become super delicious and moist. You can make the wish, since it's your first cake.
There we go. So I'm going to follow the lines?
Yes.
Ta-da.
I want that piece.
There we go, and I'll take this nice crunchy corner over here.
Here we go.
Oh, you can see the moisture. Up next, we'll be making
Chana chocolate biscuits. What's great about them is that they're good for celiac patients. They're also egg-free, and if we substitute the chocolate for carob chocolate, they'll be dairy-free too. We have chickpeas, chocolate, honey, baking powder, vanilla, peanut butter. We start off by adding the peanut butter. Will you add in the honey?
Sure.
While he's adding that in, I'm going to add in the baking powder and some vanilla essence. There we go.
There we go, we can give that a nice blitz.
It's another one of my magic tools. Let's pull this up. Plug it in. And we just go. I like to use a stick blender over a smoothie maker, just because I have more control and I don't need to keep opening it and checking on it. I have my eyes on it the whole time.
Nadia, what kind of consistency are we aiming for?
So it's going to be a peanut butter-like consistency. It's quite a sticky mixture, and it turns out that they, when you bake them, they turn out more like a sweet meat rather than a crunchy biscuit. One thing that's very important about this recipe is that you use natural peanut butter. So either you can make your own peanut butter by just blending peanuts in a blender, or you can go to a health food store and buy peanut butter. This it's important because you don't want a lot of oil to come out when they're baking in the oven. So just scrape it down. You don't want any wastage. You don't want to waste any of this peanut butter chickpea goodness. Do you like chickpeas?
I am a fan. I wouldn't necessarily have put it in my dessert though.
So will you toss in your chocolate that you've been eating the whole day?
That I've been snacking on, of course I will.
Thank you. Give it a good stir. And now the messy part. So just to help it be not as messy, we can dip our hands in some water.
Okay.
So take a spoon, take a nice amount onto the spoon, dip your hand in some water, take it off, dip your other hand in some water, and you make a little ball and pop it onto the tray.
So one hand, got my filling, spread it into the hand with the other one and make a ball.
It should make about 12 balls. There we go, that's the last one. You can press them down if you want. I prefer to keep them like balls.
Okay.
Into the oven at 170 degrees for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then eat them as soon as they come out the oven. It's nice to eat them when they're warm. They're perfect.
Wow, those biscuits look divine.
We just have to wait a couple minutes and then we're ready to dig in.
Cannot wait. Well, as they say in baking, this is the icing on the cake. Nadia, thank you so much. You've taken my sweet tooth on an absolute adventure. Earlier you asked me what my wish was. Well, it's to bake with you again.
Thank you, Michelle. You're by far my favorite taste tester.